Once upon a time, in a lush and vibrant sanctuary nestled in a green valley, there lived a herd of elephants. These gentle giants roamed freely, enjoying the warm sun on their backs and the cool shade of tall trees. Each elephant had its own personality, and together they formed a tight-knit family. The herd consisted of mothers and their playful calves, elder elephants who shared wisdom, and young ones filled with boundless energy. Years ago, this sanctuary was their home. If you enjoy this video, please like the video and subscribe for more, and tell me where you are watching from today. I always find it awesome to see where all my viewers are watching from. Let's get back to the video. The elephants came to live here after being rescued from difficult situations. Some had been in circuses, where they were forced to perform tricks for audiences. Others had faced harsh conditions in zoos, where they were kept in small spaces without enough room to roam. When they arrived at the sanctuary, it was like a breath of fresh air. They could stretch their legs, splash in mud puddles, and enjoy rolling in the grass. Caregivers at the sanctuary provided love, food, and medical care, ensuring that each elephant could heal from their past traumas. However, as time went by, changes took place. Some organizations felt that certain elephants would thrive better in different environments. After much consideration and planning, the sanctuary made the tough decision to relocate the herd to a larger reserve in a distant part of the country. This new place promised more space and opportunities for exploration, which seemed ideal for the growing elephants. Everyone involved hoped this would be a positive move for the herd. Leaving was hard for both the elephants and their caregivers. The bond they had formed was strong, built on trust and love. The caregivers had watched over them through illness and joy, and many had shared special moments with the elephants, from playtime to quiet evenings spent together. As the day of departure approached, emotions ran high. The caregivers said tearful goodbyes, knowing they would miss their beloved friends. The relocation brought both excitement and sadness. The elephants were loaded onto large transport trucks, which carried them away from the sanctuary they had come to know as home. As the trucks drove away, the caregivers waved goodbye, each hoping that the elephants would find happiness in their new surroundings. In their new home, the elephants encountered vast stretches of land filled with rolling hills and promising vegetation. They were able to roam freely and explore new areas that were rich with trees and fresh water. Over time, the herd adjusted well to their new life. They formed new bonds with other elephant families and learned to adapt to different sounds and smells. Yet, despite all these changes, there remained a deep connection to their past. The memories of their time in the sanctuary lingered in their hearts. They remembered the humans who cared for them and the safe place where they had first begun to heal. As years passed by, some elephants began to show signs of longing for what they had left behind. One particular elephant stood out among the herd, a wise matriarch named Luna. She often led her family on adventures and stood watch over her younger relatives. At night, while resting under a blanket of stars, Luna would sometimes let out soft rumbles that seemed to call back to her old home. It was as if she was reminiscing about the days spent wandering through fields of wildflowers or splashing in mud puddles with her calf friends. The caregivers at the sanctuary never forgot Luna and her herd either. They often talked about how much they missed them. They shared stories about each elephant's unique personality around campfires and during evening meetings. It was clear that the bond they shared was not easily broken. Years went by swiftly as seasons changed. Eventually, the sanctuary began making plans for a reunion, an idea that filled everyone with hope. The team had come up with a way to bring back Luna and her herd for a visit. They believed it would be an amazing opportunity for both the elephants and themselves to reconnect. As plans were put into motion for this remarkable event, excitement buzzed through the sanctuary staff. There was a sense of joy mixed with nervousness about how the elephants would react upon seeing their old home again. Would they remember? Would they feel at ease? These questions lingered in everyone's mind. This reunion would not only be a celebration, but also an emotional journey. It would be a chance for Luna to lead her family back to familiar places where they once played freely under the sun. A place where laughter echoed through the trees and love flowed abundantly. Finally, after months of preparations and careful planning, the day arrived when Luna and her herd would return to the sanctuary. The anticipation was palpable among everyone involved. The caregivers, volunteers, and even community members who had heard about this special event. Little did they know that what awaited at the gate would become an unforgettable moment that would move everyone to tears. The day finally arrived for Luna and her herd to make the long-awaited journey back to the sanctuary. As dawn broke, the early morning sun cast a warm glow over the landscape, hinting at the excitement that lay ahead. The caregivers gathered together, emotions running high as they prepared for the reunion they had envisioned for so long. With hearts full of hope, they loaded special transport trucks designed for elephants, ensuring that every detail had been thought out carefully. Each truck was a cozy, safe space, fitted with plenty of room to accommodate the gentle giants. The caregivers felt a mix of joy and nervousness, eager for their friend's return, yet anxious about how they would react after years apart. As the trucks began rolling down the gravel roads of the reserve, an air of anticipation surrounded everyone involved. Inside the compartments, the elephants sensed something was happening. The matriarch Luna raised her trunk, sniffing the air on this unusual journey. The young calves bounced with uncontainable energy, babbling excitedly to one another as they eagerly looked outside at the changing scenery. Along the way, caregivers shared special memories about each elephant. They spoke about Luna's leadership and how she guided her family through challenges and adventures. They reminisced about little Pip, a cheeky calf known for his playful antics during bath time in mud puddles. Each story brought smiles to their faces and a few happy tears as they remembered how far these elephants had come since their rescue. The drive was long and filled with sights that stirred memories deep within the elephants. Cows grazed peacefully in fields nearby, and birds fluttered above, reminiscent of the sanctuary's vibrant life. Every hill and turn seemed to evoke responses from the herd. Luna pointed her ears forward as if listening intently. A low rumble escaped her throat when they passed familiar landscapes near their old home. As they approached the sanctuary, excitement surged through both elephants and caregivers alike. The caregivers exchanged glances filled with anticipation, and it was almost time. They could hardly wait to see how their beloved friends would react upon arriving at the gate where so many years of joyful memories began. With each passing mile, the energy among them grew stronger. The elephants began vocalizing, trumpeting tunes that expressed their thrill. It was as if they too could sense just how close they were to reuniting with their past. Little Pip bounced around with delight, nudging his mother in excitement as he sensed something wonderful awaited them. Soon, they turned onto a road leading directly to the sanctuary gates. The sight of trees swaying gently in a soft breeze and colorful flowers lining the path stirred feelings of nostalgia among both humans and elephants. Caregivers kept glancing out windows while wiping away eager tears that began to escape. They were on the verge of sharing an extraordinary moment with creatures they adored deeply. Finally, after what felt like an eternity filled with joyful anticipation, they arrived at their destination. As each truck rolled slowly toward the gate, immense joy radiated from all sides. Caregivers stood ready outside, waving banners decorated with colorful hearts, expressions of love, welcoming back those who held such special places in their hearts. When they opened up those large sliding doors of the transport trucks, a collective gasp escaped from everyone around them. The elephants stepped out into sunshine, spilling over lush grass, just like they remembered from years ago. Luna led the way with grace in every stride she took. She seemed to move purposefully toward familiar ground, as if she had never forgotten where she came from. The moment was electric. Elephants roamed cautiously but curiously through green grass adorned with pretty wildflowers, dancing beautifully in rhythm with a gentle wind. Each step seemed like magic as rekindled memories surged back. Luna trumpeted softly once more, while young ones perked up excitedly trying to reconnect where delightful adventures had once come alive. Caregivers stood near each open stall watching intently. Their hearts swelled seeing Luna nuzzle older friends who greeted her back just like returning family members would do. Everything felt surreal. Laughter entwined with joyous trumpeting filled situational music echoing everywhere around them. Amazement washed over those who witnessed this powerful reunion. The love felt between caregiver and elephant reminded all present how meaningful connections transcend all barriers, even time itself. Finally reunited after years apart, this joyous occasion promised lasting memories that everyone present would cherish forever. And it was only just beginning. As the elephants drew closer to the sanctuary, preparations were already underway to welcome them back in a way that honored their journey and celebrated their return. The air was thick with excitement, and the sanctuary staff buzzed around, each person eager to contribute to this momentous occasion. Banners were hung from trees, bright colors fluttering in the gentle breeze, each one proudly displaying messages of love and welcome. "Welcome home, Luna," and "We missed you" adorned many of the signs, echoing the heartfelt feelings of everyone involved. The caregivers worked tirelessly in the days leading up to the reunion, transforming the sanctuary into a festive haven. They set up an open area filled with vibrant flowers, choosing blossoms in shades of pink, yellow, and orange that mirrored the joy felt by everyone anticipating this event. Large bouquets were placed along pathways leading toward the entrance, creating a beautiful trail for the elephants to follow as they made their way back into familiar territory. In addition to decorations, special treats were prepared for the elephants. Caregivers crafted a delicious feast consisting of fruits, vegetables, and even some delightful cakes made from wholesome grains. These treats would be a special surprise waiting for them as part of their welcome celebration. It was a small token of gratitude for all they had endured, and a symbol of how much they were cherished by those who had cared for them. On the day of the reunion, staff members arrived bright and early, their hearts pounding with excitement. They wore matching t-shirts emblazoned with an elephant logo and slogans such as "Together Again" and "Home is where the heart is." This camaraderie among the caregivers was palpable. They were all focused on one mission: to create an unforgettable experience for Luna and her herd. As they gathered near the gates, there was an atmosphere of nervous anticipation. They shared stories among themselves about how far they had come since the herd's departure. Many spoke about Luna's strength as a leader and how she had been a guiding force within her family. Others recalled Little Pip's playful nature that brought laughter to everyone during their everyday routines. These shared memories helped build enthusiasm as they readied themselves for what lay ahead. As the trucks finally approached, every caregiver stood tall and proud, ready to greet their beloved friends. The sound of trumpeting echoed through the air, and each human felt goosebumps rise on their arms, realizing that this joyous moment was truly happening. When the trucks came to a stop at the gate, cheers erupted from all around. It was a spontaneous expression of joy that filled the sanctuary with warmth, a magnificent roar of welcome that reverberated all around. Caregivers waved their arms excitedly as they held up banners decorated with hearts and colorful paint markings. The sight of these decorations made it clear that love was woven into every detail of this day. As Luna stepped out first, her presence commanded attention. Caregivers watched in awe as she confidently led her herd through the gate. For each step she took onto familiar ground, it was as if she was reclaiming her past with grace. The other elephants followed suit, radiating a sense of familiarity mixed with enthusiasm at being back in such a cherished space. The moments that followed were filled with laughter and tears. Elephants gently nuzzled against caregivers who rushed forward to greet them, with open arms and warm hearts, embracing these magnificent creatures as if they had never left. Many caregivers whispered words of love and affection into their ears, while others wiped away tears of joy that streamed down their faces at witnessing this reunion. To honor this special moment further, caregivers had planned a ceremony filled with heartfelt speeches celebrating the bond formed between humans and elephants over the years. Each speech highlighted not just individual elephants, but also recognized their journeys, stories of resilience that resonated deeply within everyone present. Afterward, everyone gathered around tables laden with treats prepared just for this occasion. Elephants eagerly approached their feast as caregivers watched with delight, excitement visible in every trunk raised high to sample delicious fruits piled high on platters. Laughter erupted when little Pip dove headfirst into a pile of ripe bananas, while his fellow elephants joined in for a feast like no other. Their playful antics showcased how much joy could exist in connection, a reminder that even after years apart, love flourished through reunion. As dusk began to settle over the sanctuary, casting gentle shadows across a canvas painted with memories old and new, everyone knew that this day would be etched forever in their hearts. A celebration not just welcoming home those who had returned, but one that reaffirmed unbreakable bonds formed across time and distance. This warm welcome showcased true love between humans and elephants, a love meant to endure through every journey ahead. As the trucks rolled closer to the sanctuary gates, an electric atmosphere filled the air, amplifying the excitement of everyone gathered. Caregivers stood shoulder to shoulder, their hearts pounding with anticipation, eyes glued to the horizon where they knew Luna and her herd would soon appear. The gentle sound of trumpeting echoed from inside the trucks, a joyful prelude to the reunion that lay just moments away. The sanctuary gates loomed ahead, adorned with colorful banners and vibrant flowers that fluttered in the soft breeze. "Welcome home," shouted one sign, while another proclaimed, "We missed you." These words captured the essence of the caregivers' feelings, pure love and deep longing for their beloved elephants. As the trucks came to a halt, a hush fell over the crowd. Caregivers held their breath, excitement mixing with nervousness as they exchanged glances filled with hope and tears. The moment felt monumental. It was as if time stood still in anticipation of what was about to unfold. With a loud clattering sound, the large doors of the transport truck swung open. Instantly, Luna stepped forward, her majestic presence commanding attention. The sun illuminated her frame as she emerged into the familiar sights and sounds of her old home. Her trunk raised high in greeting, she took a tentative step onto the sanctuary grounds. It was clear that she recognized this place. The air was thick with nostalgia. The other elephants followed closely behind Luna, each taking cautious yet eager steps onto the lush grass they had once known so well. The sight was mesmerizing, the connection between them and their surroundings palpable, as they explored this cherished space once more. A sense of familiarity washed over them like a warm embrace, bringing back memories long tucked away. At that moment, cheers erupted from the caregivers standing at the gate. Their voices rang out in unison, a spontaneous celebration that filled every corner of the sanctuary. "Welcome home," they shouted joyfully, waving their arms enthusiastically as they watched Luna and her herd re-enter their lives. Luna paused briefly. It was as if she could feel every heartbeat around her, the love emanating from those who had cared for her and her family over the years. She turned her head slightly towards her caregivers, letting out a soft rumble that echoed her gratitude and recognition. The other elephants responded with excited trumpeting, their voices intertwining in a melody of joy that resonated through the air. Tears streamed down many caregivers' faces as they witnessed this heartfelt reunion unfold before them. Some knelt down on the ground, while others raised their arms wide open to welcome back these magnificent beings who had once been part of their everyday lives. It was a moment where pure emotion shone brightly, an unforgettable display of love bridging any distance created by time or circumstance. Luna led her herd onward with confidence, making her way toward familiar pathways lined with flowers blooming vibrantly under sunny skies. Each step seemed deliberate. She wandered through memories once forgotten, but now reignited by returning home. Little Pip bounced happily beside his mother, his youthful spirit shining brightly as he explored every inch of this land filled with joyous possibilities. As they ventured further into their old territory, caregivers began calling out individual names. Luna, Pip, Daisy, each name carrying weight and affection built over years spent together. Elephants turned their heads at hearing these loving calls. It was evident they recognized both voices and bonds formed throughout their time in sanctuary care. In those first few moments at the gate, moments filled with laughter mingled alongside joyful tears, it became clear to everyone present. This was not just an arrival. It was a powerful reminder of resilience and connection shared between these beautiful creatures and those who loved them deeply. The sun continued its descent towards evening, but cast golden rays across happy faces gathered near those gates full of hope. It illuminated what truly mattered: love transcending distance or time. Memories cherished forever, etched into hearts beating alongside those who had returned home once more. As Luna and her herd stepped onto the familiar grounds of the sanctuary, a wave of emotion swept over them. The moment their feet first touched the lush green grass was electric. It was as if they had been waiting for this very moment, stirred by memories long tucked away. With wide eyes, they took in the surroundings, the vibrant colors of the flowers, the rustling trees, and the gentle breeze that carried scents etched in their hearts. Without hesitation, Luna lifted her trunk high into the air, letting out a powerful trumpet that echoed through the sanctuary. It was a sound filled with joy and connection, an undeniable sign that she recognized this place as home. The other elephants chimed in with their own excited trumpets, forming a chorus of celebration that lifted spirits and sent shivers down the spines of everyone present. Little Pip could hardly contain his excitement. He bounded forward with sheer enthusiasm, taking in every detail of their surroundings. His playful spirit radiated as he darted from one flower to another, stopping to investigate familiar scents that brought back floods of joyful memories. He rumbled happily to his mother and nudged against her side as if to say, "Look at everything. We're back." The herd began to touch one another with their trunks in affectionate gestures, gentle nudges and soft rubs that expressed relief and happiness at being reunited. An elder elephant named Daisy leaned close to Luna, touching her ear tenderly. It was a moment of recognition between old friends who had navigated life's challenges together. Their bond transcended words. It was a silent understanding wrapped in memories shared over years. As they explored further into their old stomping grounds, each elephant moved with purpose, a slow wander filled with delight and curiosity about what lay ahead. They approached trees where they had once played games of chase or found shade on scorching days. The sense of familiarity embraced them, like a long-lost family reunited after years apart. The caregivers stood nearby, witnessing these unforgettable reactions unfold before them. Many were moved to tears as they watched the elephants expressing so much joy and affection towards each other. Each trumpet seemed like an echo from the past, weaving through time itself. A celebration not only for the elephants, but also for those privileged to care for them. When Luna wandered towards an old mud wallow that had become an iconic part of her childhood in the sanctuary, it felt like stepping onto sacred ground. As if on cue, little Pip splashed right into it. Mud flew everywhere as he joyously rolled around and squealed with glee, his delight contagious and infectious to everyone watching. Laughter erupted among caregivers witnessing this beautiful display of happiness. Laughter mixed with tears formed a symphony resonating across the meadow. Each caregiver knew how far these elephants had come since their rescue years ago, without realizing how precious this reunion truly was until now. Soon enough, several elephants joined Pip in play. Some leapt into the mud wallow, while others simply couldn't resist dancing nearby, under branches swaying gracefully above them. Their movements created joyous ripples through both water and mud, these moments pure celebration set against sunlight, glimmering off droplets flying through air. Luna looked around at her family playing together. Her heart swelled with love, knowing they were finally whole again. Alive together under same stars shining brightly overhead once more after years' overture apart. She trumpeted proudly anew, the sound vibrant, filled endless stories echoing loud enough for all ears, tethering together existence anew entwined, bounding thoughts eternal. As day turned toward dusk, casting golden shadows upon joyful souls gathered nearby, experiencing magic unfolding beneath open skies, it became clear something very special lived within these bonds shaped over ages. Every trumpet call signified not just presence, but survival. A journey beyond anything feared, forging destinies linked forever. Resilience mixed beautifully within this atmosphere, merged deeply both families, human and elephant alike. Each heartbeat attuned, rejoicing harmoniously. A powerful reminder they belonged here. And love would herald even greater adventures, yet waiting beyond vast horizons, shimmering brightly, set forth ahead. As the joyful chaos of the reunion unfolded, one caregiver stood slightly apart from the rest, her heart racing with anticipation. Her name was Emma, and she had dedicated years of her life to caring for Luna and her herd. Emma had been there during their rescue, nurturing them through difficult times and teaching them to trust again. Now, as she watched from a distance, she felt a mix of excitement and nervousness about reuniting with her beloved friend. When Luna first emerged from the transport truck, Emma's breath caught in her throat. The powerful matriarch had not just been an elephant to her. She was family. Memories flooded back, sleepless nights spent comforting Luna when she was scared or restless, joyful days filled with playful antics under the sun, and quiet moments of connection where they simply enjoyed each other's company. As Luna trumpeted joyfully and explored her surroundings, Emma knew she had to reach out. With a determined heart, Emma stepped forward, calling out gently, "Luna, it's me, Emma." Her voice carried across the meadow, filled with warmth and affection. The moment Luna heard the familiar voice, she paused. Her large ears perked up, and she turned her head toward Emma. There was an instant connection, a spark of recognition that seemed to light up both of their hearts. Emma approached slowly, careful not to startle her. She held out her arms wide open, a gesture of welcome that spoke volumes about their shared history. As she got closer, Luna took a few tentative steps forward, her trunk reaching out to touch Emma's arm gently. The contact was electric. It felt like a thread weaving their two worlds together once more. Tears filled Emma's eyes as she whispered softly, "Oh, Luna, I've missed you so much." The words poured out of her heart like a river, filled with love and longing that had built up over the years apart. In response, Luna let out a soft rumble, a sound filled with affection that resonated deep within Emma's soul. It was as if Luna understood every word spoken in that moment. The two stood there for what felt like an eternity. Luna gazing down at Emma, who looked up at her with pure love in her eyes. The other caregivers faded into the background. This was their moment alone. Two souls connected across time and space after being reunited in a place that felt like home. With gentle movements, Luna leaned down closer to Emma, allowing her to scratch behind her massive ears, the place where elephants love to be touched most. Emma laughed through tears as she felt the warmth radiating from Luna's thick skin beneath her fingertips. This simple act bridged the gap created by years apart. It was a testament to their enduring bond. As Luna closed her eyes in blissful contentment under Emma's soothing touch, memories flickered in their minds. The first day they met when little Pip cuddled close beside his mother. The countless afternoons spent playing games with one another, and how they had overcome difficulties together during challenging times. Each memory held meaning that transcended mere recollection. They were threads woven into the fabric of their lives. After a few minutes of shared bliss, other elephants began to join in on this touching moment. They instinctively gathered around Luna and Emma, as if sensing the love lingering in the air. Daisy approached first, leaning against Luna's side for reassurance while extending her trunk towards Emma too, as if asking for affection. Emma chuckled softly at each new arrival, realizing that this reunion wasn't just about reconnecting with Luna. It extended to all members of the herd that had become part of her own family over the years. Each elephant nudged gently against her legs or extended trunks towards her, seeking that same warmth and connection. With tears still sparkling in her eyes, but now accompanied by laughter echoing freely around them, Emma embraced each elephant who came close, whispering sweet nothings into their ears while showering them with love, just as she would have done before they left for that distant reserve. This emotional reunion brought forth healing not just for the herd, but also for Emma herself. A reminder that despite hardships endured separately throughout time apart, they were never truly disconnected. Bonds formed in love always endure. As dusk began to settle across the sanctuary, painting everything with golden hues of warmth surrounding them all, it became evident that this day would forever remain etched in collective hearts. A celebration of resilience embodied through love, bridging distances. Where every trunk raised high spoke tales unbroken by time, waiting eagerly ahead. As Luna and her herd settled into the sanctuary after their emotional reunion, an air of exploration filled the atmosphere. The elephants, reunited after years apart, began to venture further into the familiar landscape that had once been their playground. Their wide eyes absorbed every detail as they moved with a sense of purpose, a slow but eager exploration of their old home. Luna took the lead, guiding her family toward a large cluster of trees that had provided shade during endless afternoons spent roaming in the sun. Each step felt purposeful, and it was clear that several memories were dancing through her mind. Little Pip followed closely beside her, his youthful spirit igniting the sense of adventure within the entire herd. As they approached the trees, the sense of their beloved sanctuary wrapped around them like a warm hug. Luna reached out with her trunk to gently brush against the bark of a familiar tree, one which held many joyful moments from her past when she rolled in the soft grass beneath its shade with her calf friends. It was as if she was reconnecting with an old friend, happily remembering all those carefree hours spent playing nearby. The other elephants gathered around, nudging each other affectionately as they recalled their own cherished moments. Daisy, the elder matriarch of the herd, trumpeted softly in recognition and ambled nearer to Luna, creating a circle of warmth and nostalgia among them. Little Pip darted ahead, energized by curiosity as he dashed toward a nearby pond. Splashing through the water, he called out excitedly, encouraging other elephants to join him. As they approached, memories flooded back. This pond had been their favorite spot for cooling off on hot days and splashing water joyfully on one another, a ritual that always drew laughter from all who participated. With enthusiasm shining brightly in their eyes, several elephants stepped into the water, kicking up droplets that shimmered like diamonds in the sunlight. They resumed their playful antics almost instantly, tumbling around and trumpeting loudly, echoing joyous sounds across the sanctuary's grounds. Little Pip's excitement was infectious as he giggled with delight, splashing water at Jenna, his older cousin. "Remember when we used to play tag here?" piped up Daisy. The loving bond between them was evident as they engaged in joyous conversations about past moments experienced together beneath those familiar skies. The elephants communicated with gentle squeaks and rumbles, expressing not just nostalgia, but also pure happiness and recollecting how they had once shared so many incredible adventures together. After their playtime at the pond, Luna led her band toward an expansive field dotted with vibrant flowers swaying gently in the breeze. A beautiful explosion of colors reminiscent of memories both sweet and profound. Every step deeper into this cherished piece of land felt like stepping into a storybook filled with history and connection. Here, they would often frolic among wildflowers, creating spontaneous games fueled by youthful energy. The simple act of watching bees buzz around made them feel alive again. It stirred something deep within them. Luna lowered her head to sniff a cluster of bright blooms. It was a delightful moment of rediscovery, explored with childlike joy. As they wandered further afield, Emma decided to join them. She walked along, watching each elephant experience these familiar spaces anew, as if seeing them through freshly opened eyes, filled with awe yet again. There was a momentary pause when Luna turned to catch Emma's gaze. It forged another layer of understanding, the shared love transforming this reunion into something timeless. Suddenly, Little Pip began playfully tossing flower petals into the air, as if conducting an orchestra celebrating their joyous return home. The petals danced gracefully on gentle breezes, drawing emotions from everyone watching. Laughter broke free among caregivers, mingling within freely woven connections amidst harmonious sounds surrounding them all. A powerful reminder that happiness transcends time, as late afternoon sunlight filtered through trees, casting golden rays onto happy faces both human and elephant alike. It became apparent this wasn't merely an exploration. It was a deeper journey filled with rediscovery. Healing rooted into rich soil, cultivated by thoughtful compassion, cared diligently throughout their lives together. With every corner explored and each memory recounted, the sanctuary transformed back into what it had always been. A magnificent gathering space for love. A testimony proving genuine bonds formed amidst life's trials endure through adversity, welcoming joyous returns, waiting beyond horizons, brimming alive with adventure yet uncharted. This day would remain brilliantly vivid within all hearts involved. Eternal echoes resonating proudly beyond shaded paths, marked firmly by silver linings found even amidst darkness. Extending forever invitations, unfolding evermore. Beauty singing truth. Being home. As news of Luna and her herd's return spread throughout the local community, excitement buzzed like electricity in the air. Families and friends gathered at the sanctuary, eager to witness this heartfelt reunion firsthand. Many had followed the elephant's journey over the years, sharing stories and shedding tears during their time apart. Now, they were filled with a sense of belonging that came from being part of something remarkable, an event that united both humans and elephants in love. Visitors began to arrive early that day, some traveling from far away just to be part of the celebration. Children wore homemade t-shirts with drawings of elephants, while adults carried banners decorated with heartfelt messages of welcome. The atmosphere was alive with joyous chatter as families set up picnic blankets and shared snacks, all while keeping an eye on the entrance where the elephants would make their grand appearance. As Luna and her herd explored their old home, community members watched with beaming smiles. Among them was Mrs. Jenkins, a retired teacher who had volunteered at the sanctuary for many years. She stood beside her granddaughter, Ellie, who had grown up hearing stories about Luna and her adventures. As they watched Luna playfully splash in the pond alongside little Pip, Mrs. Jenkins felt a rush of nostalgia. "I remember when she first arrived," she said with a quiver in her voice, recalling how shy Luna had been back then. "It's incredible to see how far she's come." Ellie clapped her hands excitedly as she pointed out little Pip's antics in the mud wallow to her grandmother. "Look at him. He's so happy." The joy radiating from the elephants made it clear that this was a special day, not just for them, but for everyone lucky enough to witness it. As people gathered around to hear speeches from caregivers and community leaders about the significance of this reunion, emotional stories began to unfold. Several caregivers took turns sharing their experiences, how they had nurtured Luna through difficult times and watched her grow into a strong matriarch who led her family with grace. One caregiver named Jake spoke about a particularly challenging moment during their relocation years ago when Luna had been separated from her herd temporarily due to an unexpected situation. "I'll never forget how she called out for them," he said, his eyes glistening with tears. "It broke my heart then. But seeing them together again today makes all those challenges worth it." The crowd responded with applause and heartfelt murmurs of agreement, recognizing that this reunion represented not only healing for the elephants, but also for those who cared for them deeply. The atmosphere shifted as stories sparked connections among community members who shared similar experiences and sentiments toward animal welfare. People started talking amongst themselves about ways they could support the sanctuary further, discussing fundraising ideas or volunteering opportunities that would strengthen their ties to these majestic creatures. Nearby, a group of local artists had set up a booth showcasing paintings inspired by animals at the sanctuary. They donated a portion of their sales directly back to elephant care efforts as part of their commitment to raising awareness about wildlife conservation. Conversations flowed easily as visitors admired artwork while discussing what animal rescue meant to them. Parents encouraged their children to help out. Young ones joined together, making friendship bracelets that would be given as tokens of love and support to caregivers and volunteers alike. A small gesture that signified unity among all involved in this cause. As dusk began approaching, golden rays illuminating everything around transformed the setting into a picturesque scene. One filled with laughter mingled harmoniously alongside gentle trumpeting echoes reverberating through air painted by vivid sunset hues. In one last touching moment, an older gentleman approached Emma, the devoted caregiver who shared such a profound bond with Luna. and extended his hand invitingly towards her. With gratitude shining in his eyes, he said softly, "Thank you for nurturing these beautiful souls." It was a sentiment echoed repeatedly across many faces present, an acknowledgement of love given freely without hesitation. This emotional reunion sparked an awakening within everyone gathered. They felt connected not only through shared memories, but also through aspirations toward preserving wildlife for future generations. A commitment ignited by witnessing pure joy embodied within every heartbeat, resonating across that sanctuary, where love thrived abundantly on this extraordinary day. As night fell upon them, wearing starlit skies like shimmering jewels overhead, the sense of community grew ever stronger. Each individual knew deep down they belonged here, together continuing forward, hand in hand toward cherished tomorrows, filled boundlessly bright alongside those magnificent beings forever woven into collective hearts, abounding endlessly onward, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the sanctuary. Reflections on the day's events began to form among animal welfare advocates and community members alike. The powerful reunion of Luna and her herd was more than just an emotional event. It symbolized a strong reminder of the importance of compassion and advocacy for all animals, particularly those who have faced hardships. For many in attendance, witnessing the elephant's joy and resilience reignited a passion for animal welfare. Advocates who had dedicated years to promoting wildlife conservation felt a renewed sense of purpose as they saw firsthand how care and love could profoundly impact the lives of these magnificent creatures. They realized that stories like Luna's showcase both the challenges animals face and the incredible turnaround possible when humans dedicate themselves to making a difference. "This day proves what is possible when we unite for a common cause," said Sarah, a longtime animal rights advocate who had been with the sanctuary since its inception. Standing amidst the crowd, she could see how the emotional reactions from this reunion inspired others to contemplate their role in animal welfare. It's not just about saving a few elephants. It's about changing the narrative for all animals in captivity. We have the power to influence change, and today is a testament to that. Many community members who had never before considered taking action for animal welfare felt a spark ignite within them. The sight of the elephants announcing their return with joyous trumpeting and energetic play brought smiles to faces. But it did something deeper, igniting passion and intention in hearts that had previously remained still. It became apparent that this event wasn't merely a celebration. It was an invitation to get involved in meaningful efforts. As local artists proudly displayed their paintings inspired by Luna and her companions, conversations flowed freely about wildlife protection efforts. Many attendees expressed a desire to support fundraising campaigns initiated by the sanctuary or volunteer for various initiatives aimed at safeguarding elephant habitats, both locally and globally. The shared experience of witnessing such genuine emotion generated collective motivation, a spirit eager to make positive changes for animals worldwide. Children excitedly joined their parents, crafting friendship bracelets earlier created as tokens of unity for caregivers into gifts for supporting future initiatives. Their innocence and enthusiasm reminded everyone that compassion could bloom from even the youngest hearts, a seed planted to inspire future generations to advocate for animals passionately. The outpouring of love didn't stop at the sanctuary gates. Many attendees shared stories of other animals that needed help, igniting dialogues around issues facing wildlife across broader contexts. "If we can save these elephants," someone remarked, "imagine what we can do for other animals." People exchanged information about other organizations working on similar missions, sparking collaborations that hadn't existed before. As stars began to twinkle overhead, Decisions were made not only to support the sanctuary, but also to raise awareness about critical issues within animal welfare advocacy throughout their communities. For some, this moment was transformative. The realization that they could contribute meaningfully beyond just advocacy, but also create lasting connections among like-minded individuals devoted to protecting all creatures. As they gathered beneath a canvas of starlit skies, clear congregation illuminated pathways forward. One person at a time, committing themselves toward building stronger platforms designed to advocate effectively within local communities everywhere, inspiring curiosity coupled with compassion for every being deserving protection against hardships faced daily. That night would leave an indelible mark on all who bore witness. The vivid colors of joy intermingled harmoniously with heartwarming stories told through tears now transformed into raging fires, preparing to surge forth toward better futures, crafted hand in hand alongside remarkable spirits defending Earth's majestic wildlife, pressing forward together, bolstering brighter realities illuminated deeply. The reunion was not only about elephants returning home. It became a compelling narrative, inspiring transformative motions around them, urging everyone flourishingly onward, loaded with fresh intention, poised brightly together, breathing solidarity, influencing meaningful engagements, ensuring future promises, waiting continually igniting possibilities, yet unlabeled contagious love, wrapped together resiliently. Underneath those shimmering heavens, above illuminating paths forevermore. As the last rays of sunlight faded and stars began to twinkle in the night sky, a profound sense of hope filled the sanctuary. The reunion of Luna and her herd was not merely a joyous occasion. It symbolized a brighter future for both the elephants and animal sanctuaries worldwide. This powerful moment showcased the incredible resilience of these creatures and highlighted the unwavering dedication of their caregivers, who tirelessly advocate for their well-being. Luna's return reminded everyone that animals deserve love, compassion, and respect. The emotional connections formed between humans and elephants underscored a universal truth. When we care for those who cannot care for themselves, we strengthen our communities and foster kindness within our hearts. As attendees reflected on this reunion, it fueled a collective vision, a commitment to ensure that sanctuaries remain safe havens for rescued animals long into the future. For other elephants waiting for their second chance, Luna's story serves as an inspirational beacon of hope. Sheltered individuals across the various rescue organizations all around the world can learn from Luna's journey. They see proof that healing is possible through patience, compassion, and dedicated care. It reinforces the idea that with enough love and support, transformative experiences await every animal in need. This reunion inspired renewed energy among animal welfare advocates everywhere. Individuals expressed a desire to support not only this sanctuary, but to extend their efforts toward protecting all wildlife facing adversity. Fundraising campaigns buzzed with new ideas born from meaningful conversations exchanged during the event. Volunteers emerged from the crowd, eager to lend their support wherever they could. As visitors departed that evening, filled with joy and gratitude in their hearts, many made promises to return, to share in future events aimed at raising awareness about animal welfare issues, or simply to visit again and see how Luna and her friends were thriving in their beloved sanctuary. This unbreakable bond forged through shared experiences solidified a strong network of advocates committed to change. The spark ignited among community members would resonate far beyond this single gathering. It would ripple through communities nationwide as people began to look closely at ways they personally could contribute positively towards conservation efforts. Conversations spurred interest in learning more about wildlife protection initiatives right in their backyards. From habitat preservation projects to educating others on ethical treatment toward animals. As local leaders recognized how vital such gatherings are for raising awareness, They pledged to organize regular events celebrating animal welfare, bringing together artists, educators, families, and anyone willing to inspire positive change while fostering lasting memories akin to what had transpired during Luna's reunion day. School children who participated in crafting friendship bracelets felt proud knowing they contributed something meaningful. Small tokens turned into symbols representing unity among people, advocating for every animal treated with dignity, while nurturing empathic relationships built among them too. In adjoining shelters across regions dedicated solely toward rescuing elephants displaced by human activities or environmental changes, the influence felt from this beautiful reunion rippled internally as volunteers assessed new strategies, fostering better opportunities, cultivating healthier environments, conducive toward flourishing lives, spent alongside fellow beings worthy of love. Ultimately, under starlit skies reflecting upon all those present, this day would mark an important milestone, one signifying fresh beginnings while celebrating connections resiliently tied back together, like threads intricately woven into fabric, enveloping every heart intertwined with genuine compassion. Destined, propelling forth untold possibilities, eagerly waiting just beyond horizons yet unseen. As the sanctuary stood proudly embracing its legacy, now infused anew by renewed hope, infused throughout vast expanses, each gentle heartbeat resonated rhythmically, echoing back truths revealed. Love transcends distance forever, forging paths toward brighter futures united together. Carrying forward aspirations brimming profoundly alive, alongside magnificent beings destined to thrive enduringly onward throughout time.